Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Middleware Technologies. So in our last video, we have seen how we can install Apache HTTP server using Ansible. And in this video, we will be trying to activate and configure the Apache HTTP server with the mod underscore status and mod underscore info modules. So let us see how we can achieve that in this video. So coming to my test environment, as I said, I have installed my Apache HTTP server on Fedora server with 41 version. So before trying to see how we can activate or enable the mod underscore status and mod underscore info modules to provide us with the statistics and configuration information, let us try to understand what are these modules. So Apache mod underscore status module. So this module provides us with the current statistics of our web server. So it provides us with the number of requests that are served, what is the uptime of the server, and what is the average request per second that we are getting on our server, and what is the CPU or memory usage of our server. So those kind of statistics we will be getting in the mod underscore status module, and this information will help the system administrator to troubleshoot any issues or any performance related problems using the statistics. And so in if you want to get more details, you can go into the Apache HTTP server. uh, So you can go into the Apache HTTP server modules section and search for mod underscore status, and you will be able to go through all the detailed information related to that module. Now let us look at the mod underscore info module. So mod underscore info module provides with the server configuration. So basically, what are the modules that are enabled, what are the webhooks that are available for a particular module, and it provides us with all the description of the directives that are understood by a specific module. So those kind of information will be exposed using the mod underscore info, and it also exposes sensitive information from the configuration directives, such as the path related to the some sensitive files like password files or secrets. And it also provides us with modules provides us with information such as username and passwords or database names, etc., that are configured in the that directive sections in the http.conf file. Okay, so that is why before we enable the mod underscore info or mod underscore status, we should ensure that this information is only accessible to the relevant peoples or relevant users only, and not to all the world. So if you want to get into the more details of mod underscore info, you can go to the Apache HTTP documentation pages and search for the following module, and you will be able to get more details on the mod underscore info. So now that we have understood about the two modules that we are going to enable, let us look at the procedure of how to enable those modules. So as I said, the first step is ensuring the Apache HTTP server is installed. So you can follow my how to set up Apache HTTP server using Ansible documentation. The link will be provided in the description, so you can follow that one and try to uh, install the Apache HTTP server using Ansible on the Fedora operating system. So once that is done, you can validate that your HTTP service is running. So you can validate your default HTTP page is up and running. So once that is done, you can go to our next step, that is enable Apache's status and configuration modules. So by default, whatever Apache HTTP service or the service that you are going to install, the mod underscore info and the mod underscore status modules are dynamically loaded in the build itself. So we can manually check it if they are loaded or not by using the following command. So let me run this following command on the remote server, wherein we are going to install the HTTP service. So here, I'm using the HTTP binary and passing the -m module option to list all the modules that are loaded, and from there I'm grabbing the info and status modules to check if they are already loaded or not. So as you can see, those two modules are loaded. So now, once you validated that the modules are loaded, we need to append our configuration file. So we need to append our configuration file by the following configuration. So let us try to go to our roles, the httpd underscore conf, the Linux configure httpd role, and in the templates, like we need to enable that configuration. So I have already this configuration in place, but it is disabled. So let me enable this. So let us try to understand about this configuration. So here, like we are enabling the server configuration, which provides us with the server uh, uh, configuration using the following context, that is /server info, and it is going to provide this information at the following context, and this is going to be served by the following handler, which will actually do the work of getting the server info. And these are the two important entries or directives that we need to add to ensure that this information, like the server info, is only accessible from the following host wherein the httpd service is installed, or from a remote machine with the following IP. So in my case, like I am using the following gateway IP from where the request is getting routed to the following server. So this is the gateway IP for my workstation from where the request is getting routed to the following server. So that is how, like, we need to ensure that the access to the server info is restricted. Now let us look at enable server status. So it is also going to be the same configuration, but here the context that wherein we are going to access the server status is going to be the following, and it is going to be provided by the following handler. And here also, like, we are going to ensure that is this information is only accessible from the host wherein the http service is installed, or from a workstation from where the request is going to be routed. So here, like, it is going to be routed from the following gateway IP to this following server. So that is how, like, you can include the following lines or following configuration to your http.conf.j2 template file at the end of the file. So now that we have our configuration ready, it is time to update our configuration. So as we know, in the readme instructions, we have the following command that we can use to configure our http service. So we will try to run that here from the terminal. So we are using the following playbook and trying to run the configure role. So now our http service has been reconfigured. So you can go to etc httpd conf and try to look at the http.conf file, and you will see the following configuration has been updated. Now it is time to restart our Apache HTTP service. So for that, what we need to do is we need to first stop the service and then start the service. So we'll use the following commands for the Ansible playbook. The first one is to Linux stop HTTPD. So it will stop our service. And then we are going to execute our start service command that will start our HTTP service. So now our HTTP service is started. We can just ensure that our default page is still up and running. So default page is still up and running. And now let us try to look for server status. So this is going to be our server status page, which provides us with the information like as I mentioned, like the server uptime, the CPU usage, the average request per seconds, and what are the different workers that are getting the request. So these are the PIDs of our workers, and so this kind of information we will be able to get it from the server status, which will be very helpful for the system administrator in order to troubleshoot any system level the Apache HTTP service related issues. Now let us look at the info status. And one more thing, we can get this status updated at the following interval. So we can append this with the refresh is equal to 5, so that the status will be refreshed every 5 seconds. So for this feature, like we need just the browser needs to be able to support this feature. Otherwise, you will be need to manually refresh it. So as you can see, the page is getting refreshed automatically every 5 seconds. So now let us look at the mod underscore status also. So for that, like we will be passing the server underscore info, server dash info context. So this is going to provide us with the configuration, like what are the different modules that are loaded, what is the server setting, the global what we say, the global directives that are configured, and what are the different hooks that are configured for a module. And yeah, so that all those information will be provided. But this also provides us with the, so if you see, so it provides us with the information about all the directives that are available from a particular module and how we can utilize it. But at the same time, it provides us with the current configuration, also exposing the configuration that is available in the http.conf file. So it is basically going to expose your configuration, and if there are any sensitive information available in the http.conf file, that will also be exposed. But as I said, we need to ensure that this information, the server underscore status and the server underscore info, needs to be restricted access. So that can be ensured by using the following directives. So now, like we have validated our server status and server configuration, and you can also get the server status in the machine readable format. So this is going to be the machine readable format server status that you can utilize in your scripts that will be helpful in order to automate some programs. So that is all I wanted to show you in this video. Thank you all. Thanks for watching this video, and you guys have a great day.